The following program is presented by Pro Sound and Video.
On today's episode of Broward Teen News, we're here at the Home of the Lightning to find stories in our community.
Samantha interviews a former journalist.
Our reporters open new doors to Black History Month at the Bay.
Sam delves deep into a local business.
And much, much more.
Hello and welcome to Broward Teen News Cypress Bay High School Edition. I'm Claire DeLuca.
And I'm Samantha Duarte, and we're here to tell you about the plethora of stories in our South Florida community.
Up first, a student at the Bay found his rhythm in a unique way.
Hi, my name is Santiago and I love music. Interest literally when I was like 4 years old. I started singing at this church event and then it went from there. You know, my parents saw that I was interested in music and then just kept going. My mom has always been musically inclined, so she was really excited. She was really happy that I was interested in music. My dad also loves music, he sings. So they were honestly just like ready to support everything I wanted in music and just help me out. Honestly, they were like the best form of motivation, like for me to keep going. That's also why like I've done music for so long, because like whenever I'm not really motivated with any instrument or like I'm not practicing at all, like they'll just be like, "What's up?" They'll like motivate me to keep going and practicing and getting better at the instruments. Our jazz band is group therapy. This was actually something that formed in the Cypress Bay band room, and we figured that we had great chemistry together, and then we started playing local shows around here and then playing for actual like clubs at Cypress Bay, like at their events, which is really fun. That was something that I didn't know was possible, honestly, because I didn't grow up in a band, you know, I was just by myself learning music, and when I noticed the power that you can get from bonding with others and just making music, that was definitely not only inspiring, but it was something out of this world. I think there's nothing more fulfilling in life than just like, as long as one song reaches one person, that's all I would want.
February marks the national celebration of Black History Month, where the triumphs and struggles of African Americans are recognized throughout U.S. history.
Which is why clubs like Black Student Union are necessary to celebrate and welcome students from all backgrounds with open doors.
When I first was asked to be the advisor for BSU, what was going through my head was yes, 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 and yes, and yes. You know, understanding that the school had a very low population of people from the African diaspora, I wanted to represent that. And so my goal as an advisor is just to really take the next wave of individuals who understand their culture and who appreciate it and put that forth back out there into the universe. As part of the celebration for Black History Month, the one thing that we decided as a group was to create doors that really explore the diaspora of what the African American aesthetic is, what the culture brings, and what contributions it has laid to the foundation of this country. We didn't come up with an initiative to say, you're going to do a door this way, you're going to do a door that way. We basically said, I want you to interpret what your culture, what your history, what your appreciation for that culture represents. And then you get something like this, right? Which actually uses one of my terms down here, I'm proud to be Black. And when people look at that and they say, well, why are you proud to be Black? I simply say, because God made me that way.
My freshman year, I felt disconnected from the school in a way because I didn't see anybody like me or anybody that was similar to me. And so I remember my friend coming up to me one day and said, I want you to meet this guy. And she was talking about Doc. He was the sponsor for our Black Student Union. I didn't know we had one. So I went to the first meeting and instantly I just felt a click with the people. We started with a conversation talking about what experience we've had in Cypress or just in general, and everybody just started talking. It just felt natural. Seeing how we can change people and how we can change the school, it made me want to do more of that. So have more events and bringing people together, having more meetings where we could talk to each other. It just feels nice to have people of the same mindset, and VSU is my family.
I gotta say, the previous segment was quite exquisite, wouldn't you say?
Clara, why are you talking like that?
I think it's about time this show acquired a little more fanciness.
Good evening and welcome to a new season of the Fancy Man's Guide on Doing Things. In this episode, we shall take a look at the ancient art of texting. Tired of sending boring messages that arrive instantaneously? Respond through sending a 5-page PDF document through email, and don't forget the MLA citation. Is your recipient not responding to your messages? Simply cross-reference their phone number with the federal database of registered citizens and show up right at their doorstep. Classy.
Get out of my house!
Feeling down after the past 2 steps got you blocked and reported for federal crimes? Simply start talking to yourself. Conversations with the mirror are the fanciest types of conversations. Unfortunately, that is all the time I have for you today. I dearly hope you've enjoyed our show and have a fancy evening. I love my job.
As journalists ourselves, we have the privilege to share other stories in the media.
Which means every kind of story is worth sharing. I spoke with a former journalist who used her voice to shed light on issues that tend to be left in the dark. Every story needs a certain kind of person to share it with the world.
Okay, my name is Leda Santodomingo, and I have been a journalist, I will say, for more than 40 years. You know, every day in the life of the news, you have stories. But there is a moment that you feel like you're repeating yourself. I say, I want to start creating things with news or with the stories that nobody covers. And that came the idea to create a campaign to create an awareness against the abuse of the woman.
But getting ideas out to the public can become challenging, especially when the ones working with you work against you.
The news director said, come on, that's not news. Does she die? I say, so people have to die for you to cover the story? We have to denounce this. We have to alert the community that this is happening.
So Leda broke her silence and spoke out about a domestic issue that can affect anyone and everyone.
The idea that I became was in the intimacy, that is something dark. The women are beautiful, we're beautiful, all of them, with glasses, and when they do this, you see the sign of abuse. We say that if you abuse one, you abuse all of us. Let's break the silence. No more victims.
Later, Leda's voice was heard and recognized to a greater extent.
I feel so honored to be here tonight.
But that video that we create, I received an Emmy because we were saying something that was so real for everybody. It doesn't matter what age are you, doesn't matter what race are you, or what level in the economy are you. Many women, many men can be abused.
Leda's storytelling helped hundreds, if not thousands, of people in our community.
If you know what is your purpose, you become a bridge between a problem and the possible solution. We have just to have ideas, a reason to fight, and use your tool, which is being a journalist, to help people.
I'm Samantha Duarte.
Te retiras de la vida, pero no te retiras de vivir.
CB-TV.
I am obsessed with tattoos. I just love the idea of being able to put art on my body that will last forever. In fact, scientists discovered Otzi. He was a European Iceman whose mummified body was found to have 61 different tattoos on it, and he died around 3300 BC. So that got me thinking, where did tattoos even come from? Well, there's no one historic origin that seems to be the first. However, the earliest conclusive evidence of tattoos are tools found in France, Portugal, and Scandinavia 12,000 years ago. Mummies from the Germanic and Celtic tribes were also found with markings, as well as mummies from Egypt and Siberia, so people had tattoos all over the world. Actually, the word tattoo comes from the word tatau used in Tahiti, where James Cook landed in 1769. He saw a lot of people with a lot of tattoos, and stories of his travels began to spread around the world fast. These stories sparked a craze for tattoos in the lower class. Soldiers and sailors used them to note their travels, and crusaders got the Jerusalem cross, so if they died in battle, they get a Christian burial. However, not all tattoos were wanted. Japan started tattooing their criminals back in the 7th century. The ancient Greeks and Romans used tattooing to penalize slaves, criminals, and prisoners of war. And most infamously, the Nazis tattooed numbers on chest or arms of Jews and other prisoners at concentration camps in order to identify corpses. Some survivors show off their tattoos as a form of empowerment, knowing that it will always be a part of their lives. Others build off of it and create designs surrounding it, making it an artistic statement. As tattoos became more popular and artistic in the 1960s, tattoo artists started branching out, and they became more of a form of self-expression rather than a punishment or something only meant for the lower class. Tattoos are a bold statement to who you are or who you want to appear to be, so make sure that they stay true to you. I'm Morgan Haggett, CB-TV.
Hey Samantha, who do you think is the funniest person at school? Definitely not you. But here's Virginia to find the funniest person at the Bay.
What's up, Cypress Bay? I'm Virginia, and today I'm here at Dismissal to find out who is the funniest person at the Bay. Who am I here with?
Keith Kanefsky.
Who do you think is the funniest person at the Bay? Come here. What's your name?
Justin White.
So your friend here said that you are the funniest person at the Bay.
Thank you.
Tell me a joke.
Your height.
All right, who am I here with?
Heather Silva.
Heather, who do you think is the funniest person at the Bay?
One right there, the one in the gym shark.
Your friend Heather just said you're the funniest person at the Bay.
I'm really funny.
Tell me a joke.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Your mom.
She's dead. Who am I here with today?
My name is Sarah Ardila.
Okay, Sarah, can you point out to me here, who do you think is the funniest person at the Bay?
At the Bay? I think a lot of people are really funny.
Are you lying?
No, actually, I laugh.
Are you lying?
No, I laugh.
Are you lying? You can be honest with me.
It's so funny.
I'm funny, I'm the funniest.
Sarah just said you're the funniest person at the Bay. Tell me a joke.
I don't think any of you are really that funny. Maybe we gotta work on those comedy skills. Anyway, I'm Virginia Monasterio, CB-TV.
Here in South Florida, students are always telling stories about our community. And we here at Cypress Bay have the privilege to shine a spotlight on the very talented Seminole Ridge High School. Here are those stories.
Step one, if you would, ladies.
Here at the International House of Pancakes, employees find themselves in a happy, comfortable work environment.
The customers are friendly, my staff is awesome, so I can't complain.
However, this Royal Palm Beach location has found themselves struggling to extend their staff.
Specifically this year, we've had to work extra on the holidays, which wasn't normally when we were fully staffed.
The labor shortage at this IHOP location is not due to their lack of effort to hire more employees.
We have signs, we do everything we can to advertise for it.
The reason for these struggles come from the long-lasting effect of the COVID-19 pandemic, which forced many people to find their own work at home.
Whether it's dealing with the stock market, it could be a bunch of different things, but since then, our restaurant economy has not bounced back from that.
Despite unemployment being at an all-time low, the restaurant industry is still down 750,000 jobs, roughly 6.1% of its workforce. But as seen in IHOP's logo, employees continue to keep smiles on their faces throughout their ups and downs.
Sometimes it can get very stressful, but you gotta remember to keep that back there. You can't ever let anybody out here see that.
Even customers are doing their part to help employees in any way they can.
We try to clean all of our plates up.
and leave them stacked with all the stuff, so they just grab it, wipe it, next.
Despite understaffing issues IHOP has had to face in the past year, they continue to provide service with a smile. For WSRH Extra, I'm Brooke McGrath.
Manatee Lagoon in Riviera Beach, Florida welcomes families, friends, and manatees, especially when the water gets cooler.
Well, I heard because of the cold weather that there was more manatee in the water.
Manatees aren't big fans of cold water, so Florida Power and Light has opened Manatee Lagoon in order to warm up the water in this area, while also educating their visitors on important matters.
You know, to let people know that they're out there and they're endangered or threatened or whatever.
Like Nancy said, 498 manatees died in 2020. The following year, 1,015, and in 2022, an additional 800 died. These rapid death rates are due to a variety of factors caused by humans, such as illegal fishing, boat propellers, or habitat loss.
We're always actively involved in conservation, aren't we?
Mommy, and we don't drop the garbage in the water.
Visitors and manatees alike are appreciative of FPL support for the sea cows.
I just think they're beautiful animals. And, you know, more people should know about them, and it's nice that the power plants have done this.
Manatee Lagoon continues to put their best foot forward by educating the public and protecting the gentle giants of the sea, manatees. For WSRH Extra, I'm Olivia Evans.
In this episode, we not only get to feature stories from Seminole Ridge, but also Immaculata LaSalle High School. Enjoy!
What time is it? Sip o'clock. With you every hour of the day. Now in stores for the low price of $15.99. Your favorite environmentally friendly source of H2O. Made of 100% recycled plastic. With the touch of a button, Bluetooth mode is on. Control the music with any mobile device and even play speaker mode to share with your loved ones.
Here comes the bride, here comes the bride. Clara, what are you doing? I'm preparing for the big day. You know you're wearing your Aftershock polo, right? I know, I couldn't find anything. Well, you should totally go to this shop that Sam visited. You'll definitely say yes to the dress.
In a sea of white, finding the perfect wedding dress can be like finding a needle in a haystack.
The bridal shop is called This Is Me Bridal Boutique. We sell wedding gowns, prom dresses, special occasion dresses. It should be comfortable and not stressful, because if you're choosing something in a stressed or rushed environment, sometimes you'll choose something based on the pressure or how everyone else is feeling, so it makes it a little bit difficult.
But here at the This Is Me boutique, they vow to make the dress hunting experience a breeze.
The name of the shop is inspired for everyone, meaning you could be yourself when you come in. You don't have to feel like you have to be what everybody expects you to be. And I always tell my stylists, you know, when you're working with a bride, you have to be their friend in the room. You know, you guys could laugh, you guys could talk, you know, get to know her a little bit better. Because the more you learn about her personality and what she's looking for and what her vision is, that will help you better find the perfect dress for her.
On top of that, this dress shop helps to lift the veil on the many possibilities.
When I was going through the wedding dress journey, it was more limited to what you could select, especially when it comes to plus size dresses. And so basically you're choosing something that you don't really love, but what will work. I made sure that I have different sizes, whether you're 12, whether you're 22, whether you're 32, whether you're 34. The green wall I have up there, it says, don't be beautiful like her, be beautiful like you. So I want them to be beautiful within themselves, but not what society wants them to look like.
I'm Samantha Perez, CB-TV.
You're like being a little like... Like most schools, sports seem to be a big part of our culture here at Cypress Bay. With year-round sports, there always seems to be something to talk about. For this next story, Elias looked into what this team was doing to prepare for the upcoming season.
Whenever you hear that final period bell ring, the Cypress Bay baseball team comes out here to practice their swings.
As long as the weather allows us, we try to get as much practice as possible. We always face the best competition in the spring, so we want to make sure that we are prepared the best we can.
While a good swing and a pitch are important, the secret to Cypress Bay's success may just lie in their teamwork.
We have a lot of team chemistry, so and like on and off the field. So we always hang out with each other, and it just helps with knowing the abilities of the teammate, how they work, how hard they work.
I've been playing with my teammates for a long time now, like more than 5 years, some of them. For example, Jack Goldberg, I've been known him since I was 9 years old. So like I felt our relationship is pretty big. As long as with the other teammates here, like we just get along really well. They work hard. They are more than just teammates. They're more of a family. They work inside the field and outside of the field. So you'll see them every once in a while out and about, but they're always together, which is a great thing to have as a team.
Right off the bat, I could tell that this was a special team, and I, for one, can't wait to see them hit some home runs this spring. I'm Elias Ranconen, CB-TV.
Animals serve as a source of support and comfort for people going through rough patches.
Our reporters found a rescue that assists others in their trot through the hay.
Originally, I'm from Buffalo, but I moved here when I was 10 years old, and I come from a farm town. It's a little village called Springville. We have a lot of Amish and we have a lot of farmers. This all started back in '07, where my husband and I had a piece of property in East Fort Lauderdale, and we lost pretty much everything. It was the economy, it collapsed. When we lost our jobs, what did we do? We went out and we literally mowed people's lawns. And it was pretty horrific. People were squatting, and it was a tough, for all of us. You lose everything, it humbles you, and to be able to come out of it makes you a stronger, better person. So we thought we would take a little piece of property before we lost it to the bank, and we would turn it into a farm and garden. We were able to take over the property and create an income for myself and my family. Not only did we have to go back to work, but we were able to create our own little farm and ranch, which allows us to rescue animals that have been abused or neglected. It gives us 9 additional acres to grow food. We've been through it more times than I can count in a lifetime. But it makes you stronger, and you rely on your family, and you have to rely on yourself. You have to get up the next morning, as tough as it is, you put those bootstraps on and you do something that gets you out of bed every day. The sun always comes up.
Oh, Florida weather can be so tiring sometimes.
I know, but the heat doesn't matter when you're running for a good cause.
You're right. Here's our reporters covering a special walk in our community.
All right.
It's a holiday run, so it becomes festive. You have people together, good, healthy activity, getting ready for the holidays, and just having a great time knowing that their money, their contribution is going to a good cause. I was glad to be able to participate with my 2 grandchildren. One is 10 years old and one is 8 years old, and they both ran.
This event is very special. My son and I, from when he was a preemie, I'm a runner. I used to compete, and so this is something that I love to do. And so Aden and I would do something called a walk and talk. So we would go on eating from when he was a preemie in the jogger. We would just walk, and we would walk and talk, and he would talk about everything. It was just a great bonding time. We were walking, and in front of us, the car lost control. The kid wasn't paying attention, and he lost control. Went up on the sidewalk, went down off the sidewalk onto the street, took out a tree in the median, went back up and lunged into the lake. Aden and I started running. He took his phone and he called 911, and he said, here, he handed me the phone, and told me to talk to him. He took our dog, he tied our dog up to the tree, he took off his beloved shoes and jumped into the lake. So when he jumped in, he hit his neck on a rock and he died instantly. So the last words my son said to me were, here, you talk to them. And I never saw my son again. That was horrible. I can see, taste, and smell that evening. There's visions in my eyes where I close them, I can still see everything. It's something I'll never forget. I screamed, I begged. I couldn't believe that my son wasn't coming out. Part of me died that night at the lake. He was my hero every day. People call him a hero for what he did, but he was my hero every day, and this is how he lived his life, helping people. His birthday is Sunday. He's going to be 18, and he wanted to vote. He had such goals. He was so excited to be 18. And we decided to do it this weekend. because it's the weekend before his birthday. So all the school supplies that we collected, we'll be going to different schools in the area, giving them kids in need. And that's what A would want. So I can't give presents to my son anymore, but I can give presents to other kids in my son's name. He was a very shy, humble kid who did things just to do it, to be kind, not for the attention. So he would probably be humbled by this, but I think he'd be proud of me. I hope he'd be proud of me.
I'm sure he would.
I hope so. If you look on the shirt, that's our picture. We're walking our dogs, and it's kind of we're walking into the sunset. It kind of tells the story, on our last walk.
Well, that wraps it up here from Cypress Bay. I'm Samantha Duarte.
And I'm Claire DeLuca. If you want to check out more stories like this, make sure you check out our Broward Teen News Facebook page.
See you next time.
Broward Teen News was brought to you by ProSound and Video.